all going to get put together in this lesson today. We are going to be doing order of operations, adding and subtracting integers, positive and negative integers, and multiplying and dividing negative integers, all in the one question, okay? So a quick recap, we already know this stuff here, but a quick recap. Order of operations, rules when operating with positive and negative integers are exactly the same as normal. So we always deal with the brackets first. So fill in the blanks. Except it won't let me write. Come on, let me write. Sorry, my computer's just having a little moment. It's having a glitch. There we go. Now we're going again. All right, we deal with the brackets first. Then we do the multiplication and division. Next, working from left to right. That doesn't mean that we always do multiplication first and then division. It means whichever one of those happens first as you go from left to right across your problem. And the same thing for the last step is when you do your addition and subtraction. Oh, yeah. All right, so exactly the same as what we did on like the second day of school, order of operations, but just with our negative integer stuff in there as well. Okay, so you remember your bod maths or your bid maths, whichever one, because we don't need the I or the O anyway. Okay, so brackets first. So in this first question, I do have brackets. So when we were doing this at the beginning, I circled, that's the part I'm going to do. Okay, then I solve. Don't write that question out again. Don't write -2 - 1 equals an answer. You want to write the answer to that down. -2 - 1 is -3. We solve that part, but the times by 8 we write down afterwards. We've done one step at a time. Then, after the brackets, we're looking for multiplication and division, and we do have a multiply there, and we are multiplying a negative number with a positive number.
So it still is a negative.
That's right. A negative and a positive makes a negative. 3 times 8 is 24. Oh yeah, sure, I'll move sideways. All right. Shh. Guys, listening please, not talking. Question 2, we're going to practice a few more of these. Got the equal signs there to help us know how many steps we should be trying to do. So order of operations, brackets first. Now bracket around that -5 is not telling me to do the -5 first. There's nothing else I can do with that -5. Just remember that some books, some questions, they like to put brackets around minus signs, okay? It doesn't mean anything. So no brackets to be done. We're looking for multiplication and division. And as I go from left to right, the first one I find is this one, -6 times 2. Now, I'm circling the minus sign as well because I'm multiplying a negative number with a positive number. So it will give me a negative. 6 times 2 is 12. Don't solve anything else yet, just write the rest down. So -10 divided by -5. Okay, we can put the brackets around that. We don't need the brackets though. Nope, we don't. So, next step. I still have a division in there. Okay, so that's going to be my next move. Here it is. Now again, I'm going to circle the minus on the numbers as well. So it's a -10 divided by a -5. 2 negative numbers means it's going to become a positive. Good. So -12 stays. It's going to become a positive. So I'm putting a plus sign down. I haven't even divided anything yet, but I know it's going to be positive. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Yeah? Because the -10 and the -5, two negative numbers, will become a positive. Okay, that's your negative integer stuff. Says all those rules. Got to remember them all now. All right, that was a division. The next one is an addition. Minus 12 minus another 2. That's when we're using our number line. We're starting at our minus 12 and we want to come up to, which means we are at negative 10. Yes, Daniel.
For the first step, when you do minus 12 minus 10 divided by
Minus 5?
Minus 5.
Yep.
Shouldn't you do the division first and then minus 2?
It is possible. I will show you another option. Here is another option. I could have written minus 12, I'll write it out again, minus 10 divided by minus 5. When I circled it, I could leave that first minus sign out like that, which I think is what a few of you wanted to do. It will still work, but it makes it slightly more complicated. I'll show you why. If I do that, I have minus 12, then I have that minus sign that's outside my circle part. What is a positive 10? So I'm leaving the minus sign out. It's a positive 10 divided by a negative 5. Daniel is? Positive 10 divided by negative 5 is? Negative 2. Good. But that means I've got minus minus, which is fine. We know how to handle that. What's minus minus? Plus. So that's going to become a plus anyway, which ends up exactly the same as what I had before. So taking those two minus signs in the first place, I think makes it less confusing because you have less minus signs to deal with, right? All right, let's keep going. Part B. We do have brackets for this one, so that's where we're going to start. Circle the brackets. I'm going to have the 5 out the front. Then I have a divide sign. The minus 10 plus 5 is the only thing that I'm going to work out. It is an addition, so it's a number line question. Minus 10 plus 5. Gentlemen, no one should be talking. Hands up, what is minus 10 plus 5? Yes.
Minus 5.
Yes, minus 5, good. Plus the 5 that's still on the end. Is that a question? No? All right, now I'm looking for my next step. Brackets are gone. Multiplication and division. There is a division there. So circle it. That's what I want to divide. 5 divided by minus 5. Now the first 5 is positive. The second one is negative. A positive number divided by a negative number is going to give me a negative. Good. So negative. 5 divided by 5 goes once. Okay, so negative 1. That's the answer to my circled part. And I still have the plus 5 on the end. Now my last step is the addition. Minus 1 over here, plus 5, we're jumping up that number line, ends up at a positive 4, just 4, yes. Good. And C. Now we have a fraction line in there. When you have a fraction, it is like putting brackets in there. If there is like that 10 plus 2 that's on the top, I'm going to need to do that first, okay? Because that fraction is like, so it's grouping them together. So this is actually the first thing that I need to do. Okay, the temptation is that, does anyone know what a fraction line means? Add, subtract, multiply, divide? No. It actually means a divide. Oh, sorry? It does mean a divide. Good, so there was a couple of people that knew that. But we can't do that divide first because which one do we divide? We do 10 divided by 3 or 2 divided by 3. We have to do both of them, which is why I actually have to do that step first. So whenever you have a problem with a fraction in it, you have to work out any problems on the top or bottom of those fractions first. Okay? All right. So leaving the other pieces, we've got a minus 6. Then we have a minus sign. I have a fraction with a 3 on the bottom, and I'm just going to be working out that circle part on top. 10 plus 2, that's an easy one, that's 12. Okay, now, so as I just said, that fraction line is the same, that means divide. Okay, so you can even write yourself a little note there. That line means divide. Okay, so that is going to be the next thing that we have to do. We are going to have to find out what 12 divided by 3 is. Okay, so I'm circling it. So I have minus 6 minus, Kobe, what is it? 4, yep, good. Last step is the subtraction. Minus 6 minus 4 more. Now, even though they're both negative, does not mean I'm going to get a positive. What am I going to get, Jai? Negative 10. Perfect. It's only when you multiply and divide two negatives that it'll become a positive, not adding and subtracting. All right, be very careful today, please. These are big questions, some of them. So go to your workbook